Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City. I know it is getting late. It is dark. You're probably very tired. So I'm back with perhaps your final bedtime story. So listen up and listen good. Our story tonight is by a very popular author named Dr. Seuss, and I say doctor because I don't even think he's certified. The book is called Hooray Fr Diffendoofer Day, and he's such a popular author that I managed to get this for 15% off. Nevertheless, let's crack it open, children, and see what the hubbub is all about. I've always lived in Dinkerville. My friends all live here too. We go to Diffendoofer school. We're happy that we do. See, I think Dinkerville and Diffendoofer are made-up words, but nevertheless, let's continue. Our school is at the corner of Dinkzuber and Dinkzot. Okay, it looks like any other school, but we suspect it's not. I think we're learning lots of things not taught at other schools. Our teachers are remarkable. They make up their own rules, kind of like a children's author who would, make up his own words to rhyme with other words. So we continue. Mrs. Bobble teaches listening. Mrs. Wobble teaches smelling. Mrs. Fribble teaches laughing. And Mrs. Quibble teaches yelling. Mrs. Twinning teaches tying knots in neckerchiefs and noodles. Neckerchiefs, nobody really uses them anymore, but they should really make a comeback. Maybe you kids, you get older, you start a trend. And how to tell chrysanthemums, you didn't think I knew how to pronounce that, did you? From miniature poodles. Mrs. Vinning teaches all the ways a pigeon may be peppered, and how to put a saddle on a lizard or a leopard. See, this is the thing. He would just rhyme however he pleased. He didn't worry about making sense, and then people think, oh, he's being so creative. My teacher is Miss Bonkers. She's as bouncy as a flea. I'm not certain what she teaches, but I'm glad she teaches me. Look, she chirps, I'll show you how to tell a cactus from a cow. And then I shall instruct you why a hippo cannot hope to fly. It's a lot of nonsense, yet they herald him as a genius. I guess because he drew these illustrations aren't that nice either. It's very bizarre, this whole thing. She even teaches frogs to dance and pigs to put on underpants. Oh, so hilarious. Who wears underpants anymore? One day she taught a duck to sing. Miss Bunkers teaches everything. Of all the teachers in our school, I like Miss Bunkers best. Our teachers are all different, but she's different-er than the rest. I don't know how old you are, kids, but I don't need to point out that different-er is not really a word. Strike two, Mr. Seuss. Because I'm not giving him his medical credentials. We also have a principal. His name is Mr. Lowe. He is the very saddest man that any of us know. Now, I have known some very sad principals in my day. It's not a chosen line of profession for a lot of people. He mumbles, are they learning this and that and such? His face is wrinkled as a prune from worrying so much. He breaks a lot of pencil points from pushing down too hard, and many dogs start barking as he mopes around the yard. Why you would have dogs at school, I don't quite understand. We think he wears false eyebrows. In fact, we're sure it's so. We've heard he takes them off at night. I guess we'll never know. Now that's terrifying. Look at this. You know, he's wearing them almost like those fake eyelashes, then he takes them off. And then why would you do such a thing? And why wouldn't you have one on your mustache? I think this is a smarter look. I think people would respect Mr. Lowe more, nevertheless. But we know he likes Miss Bonkers. He treats her like a queen. He's always there to watch her when she's on the trampoline. That is perverse. That is sick and disgusting and perverse. And this doctor ought to be ashamed of himself. There are many other people who make Diffendoofer run. They are utterly amazing. I love every single one. Gee, what a swell kid. Our nurse, Miss Clot, knows what to do when we've got sniffles or the flu. One day I had a splinter, so she bandaged me from head to toe. Doesn't rhyme. Doesn't rhyme at all. Flu, so, doesn't make any sense. He's not very good at this. Mr. Plunger, our custodian, has fashioned a machine. A super zooper flooper do. It keeps the whole school clean. A super zooper flooper do? Next time you have to write a story in class, children, try to get away with that line, and they will give you an F. And then you'll wonder what kind of scam this Seuss fella is actually pulling. Our music teacher, Mrs. Fox, makes bagpipes out of straws and socks. Our art instructor, Mr. Breeze, paints pictures hanging by his knees. Okay, this is a classic Seuss thing. The long arm with the big fingers and the furry. You ever read the Lorax? Don't. It's very depressing. In science class with Mr. Katz, we learned to build robotic rats. Makes no sense. Where are they getting these resources? In gym, we watch as Mr. Bear hoist elephants up into the air. Miss Luna's our librarian. She hides behind the shelves and often cries out louder when we're reading to ourselves. See, that's wacky. He's a very opposite guy. So you know how most normal librarians would want you to be quiet. Well, Seuss concocted in his genius brain that librarians should want more noise. Oh, what a nice cheap plug for all his other books. Ponzi scheme. We have 3 cooks, all named McMunch, who merrily prepare our lunch. They make us hot dogs, beans, and fries, plus things we do not recognize. As they cook, they sing their song, not too short and not too long. Roast and toast and slice and dice. Cooking lunch is oh so nice. They all have the same name? A little lazy if you ask me. Put in the work, Doc. Here's a big one. We're eating their concoctions, telling jokes and making noise, when Mr. Lowe appeared and howled, "Attention, girls and boys!" He began to fuss and fidget, scratch and mutter, sneeze and cough. He shook his head so hard we thought his eyebrows would come off. He wrung his hands, he cleared his throat, he shed a single tear, then sobbed, "I've something to announce, and that is why I'm here." Get on with it, Seuss. All schools from miles and miles around must take a special test to see who's learning such and such, to see which school's the best. If our small school does not do well, then it will be torn down, and you will have to go to school in dreary Flobbertown. Again, Flobbertown is not a real place. He's just making it up. Not Flobbertown, we shouted, and we shuddered at the name. For everyone in Flobbertown does everything the same. This is the moral of the individuality. It's miserable in Flobbertown. They dress in just one style. It's called trendy. They sing one song, they never dance, they march in single file. That's not a good look. They do not have a playground, and they do not have a park. Their lunches have no taste at all. Their dogs are scared to bark. I gotta be honest with you, wouldn't be so bad to live in a world where dogs don't bark. Nevertheless, Miss Bonkers rose. "Don't fret," she said. "You've learned the things you need. To pass that test and many more, I'm certain you'll succeed. We've taught you that the earth is round, that red and white make pink. And something else that matters more, we've taught you how to think." "I hope you're right," sighed Mr. Lowe. He shed another tear. This guy's weeping away. "This test is in 10 minutes, and you're taking it right here. Who's running the school board?" We sat in shock and disbelief. "Oh no," we moaned. "Oh no. We're even more unhappy than unhappy, Mr. Lowe." But then the test was handed out. Yahoo! We yelled Yahoo! For it was filled with all the things that we all knew we knew. There were questions about noodles, about poodles, frogs, and yelling, about listening and laughing, and chrysanthemums and smelling. There were questions about other things we'd never seen or heard, and yet somehow we answered them, enjoying every word. Sounds like they're cheating. Sounds like a mass cheating scam. They probably have it written on the desks or inside the label of the water bottle. That's a good one. Use it in high school. 1 week later, after recess, Mr. Lowe meandered in. We'd never seen him smile before, but now he wore a grin, as you can see the smile. He soon began to giggle, then his giggle grew by half, and then it really happened. Mr. Lowe began to laugh. "You've saved our school! You've saved our school!" he jubilantly roared. "We've got the very highest score." He wrote it on the board, which is what, 1/6 billion%? Oh, it's so wacky, this guy. Miss Bonkers did some cartwheels till her face turned cherry red. She bounded up to Mr. Lowe and kissed him on the head. "Hooray, hooray," she shouted. "I'm so proud I cannot speak." So she did another cartwheel, and she pecked him on the cheek. Between the cartwheels and the trampolines, this gal really knows how to get around. Ahem, coughed Mr. Lowe. "You all deserve a bow. I thus declare a holiday. It starts exactly now." I guess he has the powers of the mayor, too? "Because you've done so splendidly in every sort of way, this day forever shall be known as Diffendoofer Day. And furthermore, I promise I won't ever wear a frown, for now I know we'll never go to dreary Flobbertown." Then we held a celebration. There was pizza, milk, and cake. Don't mix them. Whatever you do, have the pizza and water or soda or, a brio perhaps. Then at least 40 minutes, and then have the milk and the cake. And really, there's so much dairy between the cheese and the pizza and that the cake, you don't need the milk at all. This guy's a monster. Like everyone, I ate too much and got a bellyache. Well, this is what I've been warning you about. We laughed and whooped and hollered. Maybe they have whooping cough. The entire school day long. Then we all sang triumphantly the Diffendoofer song. I guess we're making everything up today. Here we go. We love you, Diffendoofer school, we definitely do. There surely is no other school that's anything like you. You're gribulous, you're grubulous, not words. Each day we love you more. You are the school we treasure and unceasingly adore. Oh, finest school in Dinkerville, the only one as well. We love you, Diffendoofer school, much more than we can tell. You are so Diffendooferous, it gives us joy to say. 3 cheers for Diffendoofer school. You figure out the rest? Hooray, hooray, hooray. So that was Hooray for Diffendoofer Day. A lot of made-up words and a fantastically dubious career. Anyway, boys and girls, that is our last bedtime story for a little bit. Will I be back? When will I be back? I don't quite know. You want to know why? Because money, okay? This channel is monetized, and I have been busting my hump every night for 2 weeks straight, trying to read you books, trying to entertain you. Who is watching this? 2 kids distracting them so their mom and pops can play footsie in the background? Is that what we're doing? I'll tell you what the problem is. Everybody would be watching my stories, but then all these celebrities have to come in because we're all locked in now, and they got to come down off their high horse, off their big mountain, and try to do it for free. Oh, we're giving to charity. We're giving to charity. You're taking money from me. You're taking views. You're taking advertising dollars from me. You mind if I eat Jeff Goldblum? You mind if I eat Betty White? You mind if I eat David Arquette? You do mind if I eat? Because I took you out once, and you ordered the crab legs, and I paid, and you didn't even finish them. Oh yeah, here's your bedtime lullaby. Bow, 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 bum 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 ba-dum boom boom bum 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 ba-dum boom boom bum 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 ba-dum ba-da-dun dun 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 2 3 4 bum bum ba-da-dun dun 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 na 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 na. Good night.
Guests of the RJ City Show, subscribe to his channel, follow him on social media, and buy his t-shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/RJ City.